Hey, you geeks! Today we are covering the 10 things I like about the Wheel of Time Season 2 trailer that dropped last week. This is somewhat of an interesting video because I am only semi-scripted. We will see what happens. So, now that Season 2 of the Wheel of Time is rolling around, I can be hopeful that they've learned from their past mistakes and continued on what made this first season work despite all of its other issues.
Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
On to the trailer. Spoiler warning, of course, through Season 1 of The Wheel of Time and through about book 5, possibly? We'll see what I say. Number 1, the look. The Wheel of Time, for all of its pages and pages of clothing description, lacked a certain iconic look that all the fans could agree upon going into this adaptation. The Lord of the Rings going into the Peter Jackson movies had a series of artworks on which most people used as a reference point. The Wheel of Time, however, seemed to be generic fantasy wardrobe sprinkled with a few very specific details. In Season 1, the costumes and set design kind of ignored those very specific details and created a completely new looking fantasy realm all on its own, which was disconcerting. However, Season 2, we look to be getting back to those iconic Jordan details that made the Wheel of Time world unique. We have bands on the accepted dresses. We have Moiraine with her stone, wearing her stone. Also, being able to see color in the weaves makes this a lot closer to Jordan's original description. Seeing the little details from Jordan's vision actually be transported to screen this time is encouraging. Number 2, Nynaeve. Oh, Mother Hen Nynaeve is still caring about everyone from the Two Rivers, or at least that's what her line in the trailer seems to imply.
Together we face the impossible, but now in our separate corners of the world.
She is also leery of positions of power.
No one should have that much power.
And that is so true to book Nynaeve. I know there's been some concern about her fighting with a sword in both the teaser and this trailer. However, in The Great Hunt, she clearly says that she wishes she could fight with a sword, whereupon Siuan rebukes her and says that the one power is stronger. I hope this scene from this trailer is a reinterpretation of that conversation. A conversation which was a mix of show and tell, and the show being visual, more heavily relying on its ability to show everything. The other promise this trailer makes for Nynaeve is we get to see her accepted test. We see doors opening, we see the archways, and we see her magically emerging from the archway, covered-ish in blood. Is this how I imagined the accepted test to look? Not really. But having it in a very creepy basement shows exactly how bizarre the rites of initiation the Aes Sedai have. This ain't no ACT. This is hurling yourself into a magical object and you have no idea what's going to happen. So, I think the show adequately conveys just how insane this world is. Speaking of insanity, number 3, Rand B. Cray Cray. Well, in Season 2, Rand definitely got a haircut, or several, and now is kind of stalking around a little bit like Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars Episode 2.
I killed them. I killed them all.
True, he's not a dark Jedi yet, but he's definitely not on the path of pure righteousness. Rand choking Moiraine is definitely definitely a bit extreme even for Crazy Rand, as Crazy Rand has this thing about hurting women. However, the show started with Rand being very untrustful of Moiraine, even in season 1.
No!
So, I can only imagine that when she comes back and tells him, by the way, I traumatized you last season for no reason, and you still are on the hook for saving the world, I don't think he's going to be rather pleased about that. So, I'll buy it.
We didn't defeat the Dark One. We set him free.
Moreover, this revelation from Moiraine is going to make Rand feel ill-used. In the language of Robert Jordan, we would be talking about being tied with strings or being pulled on a leash. However, the show seems to be rather anti-leash metaphor and is going more with the bound to the wheel, which is why we see Rand doing an excellent Catherine of Alexandria impersonation here. So it seems that Rand is going to be struggling with trying to get control back over his own life and very explicitly the One Power, as he now must channel it to defeat the Dark One again. Number 4, the Dark One's greatest servant. So, the show seems to be taking a more proactive approach to explaining what is going on with the Dark One and Ishamael in the beginning of the series.
We didn't defeat the Dark One. We set his strongest lieutenant free.
In the books, it's only begun to be explicitly explained at the end of book 3, although if you read book 1 knowing that it's been Ishamael the whole time, the prologue makes a lot more sense thematically. With Ishamael being revealed to not be the Dark One himself, merely his most powerful servant, it's also fun to now see what Ishamael is actually doing. We see him here with the Shan-Chan, which makes sense from the series, although these are scenes that are going to be show originals. I'm excited to see exactly what Ishii is up to this season, rather than having him just pop out in the sky at the end like some annoying jack-in-the-box. Number 5, Lanfear. Oh boy. So, Lanfear's character in the Great Hunt book annoyed me to no end. She was so clearly evil and Rand was so clearly smitten that it just drove me nuts. The actress for Lanfear is clearly older than Rand, and they seem not to be taking the Selene magical disguise, who is the same age as Rand, angle. While this is different from the book, it is more in keeping with Robert Jordan's odd theme of having older women instruct younger men into their own, All in all, I just hope that Lanfear's character is going to seem a lot more clever in this show than her book counterpart at this point, whose main attribute was, from Rand's perspective, hot. Number 6, the Shan-Chan. So, we got to see a lot more of the Shan-Chan in this trailer, with their crazy palanquins, their insane hairstyles, and their damane who are still wearing pacifiers for some reason. It is interesting to see that the damane's weaves are going to be only limited to their wrist area, as that is going to make them visually distinct from the Aes Sedai channeling. We get to see the Shojin with half their head shaved, and yet somehow Turok has his entire head shaved.
The whole world will be ours.
Without any of his hair, and a very cool looking patch of scars to show for it. Is he a member of the royal family in the show? This would be a very easy way to more seamlessly combine the early book Seanchan we see with the later book Seanchan we see. I especially want to know what Seraph is doing with Loial and what happened to the rest of Perrin's gang. How many times are they going to kill Uno in this series? Number 7, Logain and Siuan. I am actually very pleased to see Logain duding up his depression with Rand.
I'm the dude, so that's what you call me.
I don't think that Rand has come to Tar Valon. Rather, I think Siuan has officially brought Logain on a world tour to demonstrate the power of the Amyrlin Seat and their ability to capture false dragons and bring back order from chaos. This is the role that Logain was doing in Caemlyn in Book 1. However, since we didn't get that in the show, I'm happy to see it reintroduced here. Also, this gives Siuan the opportunity to have her Fall Dara conversation with Rand happen in Cairhien.
You are the water that turns the wheel itself.
Siuan's official role of showing the Aes Sedai's power to the world is going to be very sanctioned by the Aes Sedai. However, her unofficial business of letting Rand loose on the world and also giving him an opportunity to get advice from a former dragon and male channeler
How to control it.
is really not going to sit well with the rest of the Aes Sedai in the tower. As we know, her actions in the book bring about her downfall, and here we're setting up something very similar. Number 8, Great Hunt Plot. Rafe has previously stated that Season 2 is going to be a combination of books 2 and 3. However, the trailer is showing a lot more of the Great Hunt. Rand's trip to Cairhien, the hunt for the Horn of Valyr.
Your Knights of the Round Table shall have a task to make them an example in these dark times.
Good idea, O Lord.
Of course it's a good idea!
Lanfear being Lanfear, and the Seanchan as the main worldly threat. With that, I'm thinking that really the only Dragon Reborn element we're getting in this book is Rand being off his rocker and Moiraine chasing him.
Protecting Rand, guiding him, that is the only thing that matters. You can't control him.
We also may see more blatant examples of Rand's Targaryen powers instead of just the one-off in Cairhien and then waiting for the rest in Book 3. My prediction with the Aiel suddenly being present in the Great Hunt, which is another major change, Rand is going to go from Falme to the Waste, as has been stated that we're going to get Book 4 action in Season 3, followed by them coming back over the Dragon Wall, not to take Cairhien, but take the Stone of Tyr. Number 9, Perrin. So, Lopen and I are very pleased to see our favorite wolf boy reappear, actually talking to wolves this season. True, he doesn't have an axe, but the show really didn't set him up to be willing to carry one since, you know, the whole dead wife thing. With Elias joining the crew, I hope this means that we will get the iconic "I hate this weapon, good, continue to carry it until you stop hating it" moment, as that is very crucial to Perrin's whole character arc, agonizing over whether he is the axe or the hammer. Him with the sword, bit weird, honestly. Number 10, Mat. So, Mat by Donald Flynn has joined the crew.
And there was much rejoicing.
Coming from rereading the books, the scene with him and the dagger wasn't that surprising. until I remembered that, in fact, in the episode which does not exist, Padan Fain has the dagger at the beginning of season 2. So how Mat ends up with this dagger in this scene, is it a Teleron Riyadh thing, or is he being seduced by Padan Fain? There's a mental image for you. All of this is very exciting, but we don't really get to see enough of him to know where he's going in this season, aside from probably Falma, like everyone else. So, those are my 10 things of which I liked to see in the trailer, and I hope to fully see them realized come this September when the show drops. So, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment. What are you looking forward to in season 2? Thanks, bye!